Hello YouTube, up at the crack of dawn, updating the setup. Finally got my oil slick pedals to match with the oil slick seat clamp, stem cap, and levers. Look is pretty much complete. It's daylight, it's actually quite beautiful. Reason why I'm up so early, I'm actually thinking about doing a series. It's not going to be a step-by-step how-to, but it is going to document my friend's progression from a complete noob into getting bike park ready. So he actually just bought his bike a month ago. He's been riding with me once a week, and we are going to push, or I guess safely get him ready with the skills necessary and the fitness necessary to ride a downhill park. He actually got into mountain biking because he wants to start riding park already. So pretty brave guy, and he's very dedicated. He's been sessioning alone, doing core skill drills that I've told him to do. Today is going to be his 4th time riding. While we're in the trail, I will tell you how he started, where his progression is. Today, I'm maybe going to get him to start rolling his first jump. I will introduce you to him later and show you his bike setup soon. Meet Dario. He's actually got some natural talent. He used to BMX back in the day, but not like street BMX or dirt jump BMX or race BMX, but he was on the bike a lot. So he had some innate skills ingrained in him still. He knew how to get a front wheel lift, manual, proper, pretty much almost immediately. So that's pretty promising. His first ride was his fitness was really bad, but on his 4th ride, this is his 4th ride, I would say his fitness has doubled. And fitness is actually more important, or as important, as core skills. He's actually gotten to the point where he's starting to feel the limitations of the RockShox Recon, because initially it was set up pretty plush, but now when he's doing manual front lifts, he's blowing through the travel almost immediately. So we gotta adjust this pressure accordingly. It's gonna be a compromise because the Recon cannot have your cake and eat it too. Basically, you either gotta settle with plush ride or a little firm but more support. And his ride is a 2021 Ragley Marley 27.5. It's got some good parts on it. Dior 4-piston brakes, Victoria Mazda tires. The tread looks like it's Minion. Okay, no, this is definitely under pressure, even according to the chart. So let's put it at what the chart recommends him at. We did a lot of cockpit adjustment. Previous owner on this car cut the steerer tube too short. It's like they're an XC Master or something. Look at this. We had to get a riser stem and riser bars to try to bring the front end up because it was really, really low. And it's much better now. It's probably where it should have been from the factory. And today we only have an hour to ride, but I have been slowly training his cardio and taking him to technical trails. I will expose him to much more gnarlier stuff further down the road. So this way he can get the shock out of the way, as in, not shock as in shock absorber, but like shock and awe shock. This way when he goes to the bike park, it'll be something he's seen before. I will see you on the trail. So this was one of the features that doesn't look very steep on camera, but for a new rider, this is pretty technical. It's got roots and rocks and steps. He was wise enough to bypass it on his very first ride. Just saw it, he was kind of shocked by it, gave it time to process, set a goal for himself to hit it the 2nd ride he was here, which was actually his 3rd ride. He was able to hit it on his own bike. This was before we did the cockpit adjustment to raise the bars up another inch. He's gonna try to hit it again, but he wants to try it on my bike first. So let's see how he does on my bike. Here he goes. My bike looks like a barge. Let's see if he's gonna do a run up. Remember, keep your pedals leveled. Just ride down it. Oh, he kind of went a little slow. Good. See, that was easy. In terms of critiquing, your legs were a little stiff, but the good thing is you did not get behind the bike, which is awesome because you were able to keep the weight over the front end and allowed you to steer out of it if there was a turn. Yeah. So that's a big improvement right there. Now try it on your bike. You know, try not to brake on it. You kind of stopped last minute and you almost bailed. Just let it roll through. So my bike gave him the confidence. That's just good speed. Yep, just roll through. Perfect. You did it even smoother on your own bike than on my bike. Excellent. Yeah. Yeah, by you almost stepping on the brake and like pulling on the brakes and almost hesitating, it threw your balance off, and then you kind of, the bike dived down a little bit. So on the second effort, you just rolled in like you're supposed to and let the bike do the work, and it's much smoother the second time around. Now this is what this looks like from the bottom up. It's probably like a 6-foot roller. You know, like I said, GoPro flattens everything. He's gonna swap my bike and see what a mullet feels like. I'm gonna hop on his 27.5. I guess I am leading. But yeah, the saddle is cheap and everybody's ass is shaped different. Yeah. And whatever feels good to me might not feel good to you, but if my seat feels good, it's only 30 bucks. Okay. You know, because your seat is rock hard to me.
Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah.
That's a normal...
No, it's not supposed to feel that way. If it feels hard, even with the chamois on, it's too hard for you, and it's not the right shape for your body. Now this adds another level of challenge, because this is the Black Diamond Tech Trail at Cunningham. Cunningham is a extremely, I call this as like a UFC gym of mountain biking. Most trails in Long Island is smooth cut. This is very raw on this side, so there's a lot of exposed roots. Like, I was surprised he made it up this punchy, rooty thing on his first try. He picked a good line. All right, these two log rollers, Dario, aim them straight on, because it's a little slippery. Don't turn the bars. Set it up as straight as possible and power through it, seat down. The seat is still so high, man. You didn't put it down at all. Oh, fuck. Well, the good thing is Dario's was so fresh, clean slate. You gotta crank through you gotta ratchet through it. Is that he doesn't have any bad habits to develop or undo. He's starting fresh, so he's already wrapping his head around the concept of using the dropper pulse. You don't have enough run up, Dario. No, I mean, and plus your seat, you still got like 4 more inches to go down. Yeah, there you go. But you don't have enough run up, because you gotta start from the back. Start from the back, yeah, the first log roller, all right? Your fitness is a lot better now too, because now I'm riding at a casual pace and not taking a break, and you're not too far behind. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna sprint into it. Don't worry, you're not gonna hit me. Sprint into it, aim straight, lift the front wheel, crank through. You almost had it.
Almost, yeah.
This is where the ratcheting of the pedals come into handy. Okay. You're not at that level yet where you can like instinctively time your pedal strokes where you're not gonna hit anything and ratchet, but that's good. You almost made it to the top. You just didn't have enough momentum. If it was drier and the tire had more traction, you probably would have cleaned it. So Dario, how does a mullet feel compared to your full 27.5 through the technical bits?
Easier.
You think so?
Yeah.
Even with the heavier bike and the longer bike?
To me, it feels easy.
Okay.
I mean, it felt easy.
What about it makes it feel easier?
For some reason, I have more control over how I'm turning.
Yeah.
But then again, all the exercise that we were doing yesterday kind of helped. So.
Well, I mean, we can hop back on your bike whenever you want to.
Yeah.
But we can ride the whole thing here. I don't care. But yeah, I think the more control in terms of being able to stand up and slow at speed maneuvers is probably due to the taller bar height versus your lower bar height. You're leaning too far over the front axle versus being more centered on this, especially when you got to go at a slower speed.
Yeah.
One more thing, Dario, never ever rest the bike stanchion on anything hard.
Oh, my bad. Because
this is the lifeblood of your suspension. If this thing gets scratched, it'll tear the seals up and all the oil and everything's gonna leak out.
Okay.
So when you rest the bike, rest it on the pedals, on the bars, on the wheels, but never ever on the stanchion surface.
Okay.
All right, so that's a tidbit. you're fresh enough, so we're gonna hit this side, which is something you didn't hit last time.
Okay.
Plus, we didn't warm up on the green trail, so you should have enough cardio. Plus, your improvement in cardio should allow you to finish this west side loop nowadays. On his very first ride, he actually almost caught a heart attack, or at least felt like he was gonna pass out and throw up. He was getting dizzy without even making it all the way through on a green trail loop. So it is a miraculous improvement, and even I am surprised by it, even if you take the newbie gains into account. He said the main issue that he had was he didn't even realize he was overexerting himself. So the whole time that I've been taking him to ride is to actually subject him to different types of riding conditions so he can learn how to know how much effort he can sustain. Yep.
On his second ride, I made him do a 12-mile XC loop.
Almost scratched my lower leg on that
The
one.
12-mile XC loop actually really helped him figure out the gearing and the pacing, because he doesn't have to worry about any technical features. And now we're back to riding all technical stuff.
Don't have too much time to session on things like that today. It's gonna be a small little concrete Buddha here.
I also like to mention that Dario was wise enough to buy a bike that normally would be most riders' third bike as his first bike. And this really helps him because he can get used to this bike, and this is a bike he can keep for as long as he would like, or it could be a forever bike. Don't know if he's going to stay as a hardtail gang or not. Maybe he'll jump into a full suspension as he progresses. Who knows? But he has a bike that he can keep, and it's not going to hold him back. The Ragley Marley is basically Ragley's version of the nuke-proof Scout. That kind of geometry.
Some slick riding conditions. Teaches him to hit obstacles dead on versus being slightly lean. Again, good lesson in bike control, how to read the lines ahead of time, which is very important when you're riding park, especially in the technical sections. All right, Dario took his...
My seat was up.
So that's one lesson. Always leave your seat down when you gotta maneuver the bike. Yeah.
And as I'm going down, I'm turning. My peg got caught on the.
Exactly.
On the,
so
on
what
the
you
seat.
should do is, right, as a reflex, this is gonna take time. Anytime you stand up on a bike, sit down first. So before you stand, you pull the dropper lever, sit down, and then stand back up.
Okay.
This way it's automatic. You'll be like, oh, is it up? No. So if you know you gotta stand up, while you're still seated, just hold the dropper so you sink down, let go of the lever, and stand back up. The seat's gonna be out of the way every time.
Gotcha. Yeah.
No jet line today. Ground is too soft from the rain last night. You can still see puddles, and the dirt is like really loose and sandy right now. One hit of the berm and it's gonna leave a rut. Maybe next time. Damn, the conditions were so good yesterday, I heard. Well, there's always another day. No first jump for him today. All right, so there's one section here, right?
Yeah.
When it makes the left, it's going to be straight downhill. It's gonna make a left, then a right. I want you to try to keep up. This is a green trail, but it has a longer descent than the black trail for whatever reason. I guess they took down that tree. Every little roller that you feel that's kind of like up but smooth, I want you to pump the bike to try to build the speed and try to keep up. So I'm gonna tell you when, and you're gonna see me get up and sprint. You're gonna do the same. You could technically take that thing at a reasonable pace without hitting the brakes if you just lean the bike enough. So let's see. Obviously the conditions are a little different, but if you feel like sketched out, then use the brakes, okay? But I'm just telling you, it can be done without braking. I guess you can start sprinting here. Okay, I got a brake. I made a mistake. Got a brake on that turn. Pump. A little lean. Pump. I lied. I had to brake twice. Nah, I lied. I had to brake twice. But it was just a tap.
Nah, for some reason I'm moving my foot in my pedals. I don't know why.
Wait, when you're doing a sprint? You can pump the two rollers here to get more speed. But you gotta do like what Ben Cathedral says, comfort braking into the berms. So you can pump here, up here, race brake. I was off the brake there, comfort brake. You can pump this. Damn, that tree really ruined the flow. Trying to pump down that section, and it was so off camber. Bunny hop. You see that scoop at the berm on the bottom?
Yeah. Oh, I've done that so many times.
Yeah. So I'm saying, try to. You should be able to do that without braking. I know I said it every time. I'm gonna call out if I'm braking, but like I said, that big tree there, clamp down on the thing to the proper speed, and just hit that right turn without using the brakes.
Huh?
He's not ready to go off this drop yet. Clamp. Yep, no braking. Yeah, I didn't need to brake on that. No braking, right? Huh? Yeah. But the berm caught you.
Yeah.
Yep, well there you go. No braking on that turn. And you made it up all the way here too. Awesome, you pretty much checked off a lot of the stuff off the list.
Yeah, man.
You rolled over a lot of stuff you were stuck on the last time you were here. Made it up the climb. You need a brake or no?
Oh yeah, I got this my pass for a second.
Okay. It's actually better for your rear tire to slip than your front tire. You can catch a rear tire slip by putting your feet down, but if your front tire washes out, you're pretty much like low-sided. And that's why it's always good to have a little more weight forward, because you're putting as much grip into the front tire as possible when you're like leaning the bike down to a corner.
All right, copy that.
Well, that's good. So that might be like the first little berm you've ever ridden and felt it doing its job. This is like the last stretch. This is the one where you pump the two little rollers, right-hand turn. For you, you probably need to get a couple of pedal strokes in. Brake, pedal, pump, pump. Pump. You're a lot faster today. So let's wrap up like where you improved today. Bike handling improved a lot more confidence rolling down the steeper stuff.
Yeah.
Making through a lot of rocks and roots that you had to get up and walk the bike with last time. Cornering drill actually helped you with the low speed technical cornering to maneuver between rocks and roots mid-corner, especially in the wet, so that's good. Fitness improved again. I'm actually riding at almost casual 50% pace, taking a lot less breaks. There's only a fourth time riding. I'd say you're probably ready for Stillwell to test your cardio next, or I'll just take you to Graham Hill and just throw you in the deep end. I'm actually more interested in taking you to Graham Hill because you're gonna see rocks you've never seen before over there. That would be more interesting. It's a shame that we couldn't get the jump line going, but we got to respect the trail builders. They put a lot of time into it.
Yeah.
There's always the rest of the summer because I want you to feel the transition of the lip. This way, when you hit it at speed at the bike park, you're not like freaking out. You know, you're probably gonna have to hit them like 100 times,
Gotcha.
which is totally fine. It's a very safe, controlled thing, and I'll be filming you and checking your form and giving you pointers on like, you know, whether you're squashing it, whether you're pumping too late, too early. Even though I'm not an expert jumper myself, but I can at least tell when something's seriously like not right. All right. On a side note, again, regarding him building his cardio up, he's been sessioning power moves like manuals and track stands and just cornering drills, which works on his explosive core strength, explosive power. And that's actually what really ties you out when you're riding a technical trail and at the bike park versus sitting and cardio. Like his main issue before is couldn't wrap his head around the gear ratio, what his power is in terms of how much power he can sustain without burning himself out. So he's either in too big of a gear and spinning out, or in too low of a gear and burning out his legs. He's starting to figure that out more now. Once he figures out what his cruising power is, he should be able to ride a lot longer distance, and he's just got to work on the explosive movements. So he's getting there, and that's where we are right now. I think it's a lot to do with the fact that he used to be an athlete, used to play soccer, so he has that cardio and his legs already in him, just got to bring it out. And also he's figuring out how much effort he can consistently put out and not burn himself out, because this time his legs didn't fail. This is the first time. Usually his cardio is still there, but his legs are too tired to do anything. Today he actually is still relatively fresh. Yeah, he's still fresh in the legs, still fresh in the lungs. So that's very, very promising. Okay, now it's the end. Bye.